I think we are live. I at least hope so, because it looks to me like we're live. I'm expecting not that many people to show up today. I don't think we're getting any notifications out, but today's been an interesting day, man. I've been watching the charts all morning. And actually, I went to go do some swimming, some snorkeling, some other cool stuff, but damn, I've been watching them all morning. And today has been a very interesting day, to say the least, brothers and sisters. Ho, ho, ho! I've been watching this, and it's been awesome. I'm not sure if you guys are going to agree with me on that note, but damn! All right? I mean, Bitcoin is slowly but surely moving upwards, but XRP, Ethereum, a lot of these coins, they're making numbers, they're making moves that I can almost not even describe. I mean, take a look at XRP here, the way things are going right now. It is just absolutely stunning. Right? Regardless, if you're in the chat box, because again, it's going to go slow today, our attendance, because no notifications for probably almost anybody. If you're here, just quickly say in the chat box where you're watching from. We got a BCN, is that? I don't actually know what BCN is. I thought maybe it's Barcelona, but then there's no N, right? Yeah, there's still the N, I guess. Barcelona. Barcelona. Even though I say BC, Barcelona, whatever. We got BCN, we got Netherlands, we got UK. Ah, Barcelona, sí, entiendo. English lad living in Holland. All right, yeah. Let's see. What else do we got? Oh, we got Bobby Flash again in here. Okay, we got the usual crowd, at least a few of them. Vancouver, Canada. All right. Very nice, very nice. So again, today a little smaller crowd, but it's all good. It's all good. All love and everything. So long story short, let's start out with the XRP price, right? Things are moving beautifully. Our expected path was that we were basically going to face some resistance at either the, let's call it about 255, between 260, something like that mark. And even though we did initially face some resistance at 245, it's actually moving up like a freaking warrior. Right? I mean, this is, again, the area in which things get interesting about $2.60, because if you take a look at the previous price action, this is a level, around the levels that we're at right now, where usually XRP topped out. Once, twice, three times, potentially a fourth and fifth time around this area, potentially slightly more. You guys get it, though. So here, we are a bit, I don't want to call it scared, but we're being more cautious. Then again, if we are reevaluating why exactly this push is happening, I'd say a big part of it is the altcoin move based on Ethereum. Ethereum is reclaiming a lot of, or I guess giving back a lot of strength to the market by pumping crazy on the ETH BTC chart. And if we take a look at Bitcoin, even though it is facing some massive resistance right here at roughly $104,000 or so, this week we shall decide whether or not it's going to be a triple top or a break. And that could actually be the highest weekly close ever for Bitcoin, which could lead into crazy bullish times for altcoins as well. And again, I have a lot to explain, a lot to talk about, but I'm just quickly... Not quickly here. I guess I'm just slowly chilling and waiting for some people to hop on in, seeing some of you guys' input, seeing some of y'all's opinions, and seeing what some of y'all are trading, what y'all are doing. Right? Because for me, the bots are still in play. The Ethereum bot has been the craziest by far. It's only 5 days, but we were up like 71 or more % even earlier today. I'll just quickly show you. This was up, let's see here, 76% this was up in just 5 days. That's massive. The 10K to $1 million challenge is still going strong. And this is also like $2,000 or $3,000 down before. You can see here it was actually $4,000 in a loss before. But right now we are back into profit. And the nicest thing is, because it was down so much, it was actually able to buy a pretty significant sum, turning us into $150 in like cashed out profits, so that the the position basically itself, well, it's less. Of a struggle right now. We're basically break even on that, let's call it. But because of the grid profits that it made over the last, I'm going to say day or so, it's actually right now even positive still. But of course, we are only going to start recompounding this again at what? Let's quickly see here. I mean, things have strayed a little bit away from the path because things went so fast. But I'm going to say we're at about level 9, 14.774. Yeah, so again, we theoretically speaking have to add like $200 in. But I'm kind of a little bit too lazy to do that. We're just going to compound whenever there's a little bit more than that in it. And the reason I'm saying that is because if we were to follow this path perfectly, then yes, we'd have to go for 14.774. But I think we're just going to skip this and try to go all the way towards 15.5 or just to put it simply, we're going to try and compound the moment it is above 5% profit on this. Right now, we're about 0.6. So again, we have a little bit of a way to go. And this is also why whenever somebody in the comments now said, or in the chat, XRP is always down. Well, I like your enthusiasm, my friend, but when you're looking at the price and the way things have been going, I'm not sure that's the best way to view it, because theoretically here, this is a very, very bullish looking chart. Looks pretty damn amazing if you ask me. You know, to me, this looks really, really nice. Looks set for some crazy action. Mostly because the downtrend has been broken, right? It faced its initial struggles and slowly but surely it's been creeping up, making higher lows, higher highs. Yes, there's still the potential for this higher low to be made potentially at $2.50, something like that, over another few days. But generally, the trend right now is upwards. And again, when it comes to trends, all we expect is for it to continue on the way it's going, right? We don't want to counter it. We don't want to be that person to try and take the best opportunity by buying the bottom, whatever. Nah, that's for other people to do. We think whenever a trend is there, that it's going to continue on. By the way, everybody, if you're watching right now, we've got 150 people-ish in. Make sure you press that like button, because again, it's always harder to get a stream to get the people that usually watch in when there's no notifications given out, as you might have noticed. So all those likes help a little bit more today, because I'm thinking it might then recommend the stream to more people. Not sure if it does, but you've got nothing to lose either. M2 says, Dusty with the bathrobe, macking. I don't know what macking means exactly, but it's actually because I just jumped out of the pool, like maybe, I'm going to say 7.5 minutes ago. And I was like, I want to talk about the price right now because things are moving so interestingly. And otherwise I have to, do a lot of, I have to shower. That's actually it. And put a shirt on. I was like, you know what? Let's go for the easiest. So that's the actual answer. All right. I had to stop for my shoot here real quick to go for another shoot, a little video shoot, huh? Why not? Anyway, how we all doing, boys? How are you guys' trades going? Who here is trading XRP? Let me actually, I can also just grab this thing out of the chat box, can I? How do I do that again? There we go. I should have a way to embed this in the stream, huh? So you guys can just always see the chat, but I don't know how to do that. All right, I'm not talented enough for that part. Let's see. Bobby says, XRP is becoming a coin that all you have to do is buy and hold, and the more you buy and the longer you hold, the more you make. It's become that simple if you want it to be. Now, theoretically speaking, that is with almost any of the main investment instruments. If you think about it, S&P 500, gold, Bitcoin, almost any of these assets would have made you a ton of money if you just simply shut up, bought more, and waited. Now, the thing is, we are trying to expedite the process, all right? We're trying to make this a more interesting endeavor by using, for example, some leverage or something along the lines of buying in specifically better opportunities. Chris says, I'm waiting on a Pala ID to trade on certain exchanges. I mean, you don't really need, for example, the bots I'm doing. I didn't KYC. There's no KYC for that. You can use it from any country in the world, so I wouldn't wait on your ID too much. Also, some exchanges have been starting to limit the Palau ID because of, well, obviously, a lot of people are using it. All right, let's see. We have, what else do we have? No XP trade. I'm keeping every cent. Fair enough. Holding XRP, yep. Just holding is good enough. Hey, to each their own. If you like holding, that's all good. And Igor, the same. So a lot of people here are holding, not doing anything too crazy, which is also respectable. I mean, if this is not something for you, at least I'm always happy that people find out what is for them and stick to it, right? Don't do anything you're not comfortable with. Because at the end of the day, if you're playing the game wrong, you might end up being worse off than just holding. It is only if you're, a little bit more in the risk department, you like to take a little bit more risk to also make a significant amount more profit. Then again, with my bot strategies, if you're using low leverage, I don't think there's really that much risk, like personal thoughts. Obviously, there's still risk, but not that much. I wouldn't actually call it risky. Just a long position, though. Hey, boys and gal, you know that this has done super, super well. I'm still amazed by the fact that it was minus $100,000 just a few months ago, 2 months ago or so, and right now we're back in the positive. And I've been screaming that at the top of my lungs in all the videos. But another fun fact is, for example, virtuals as well. I still stand by it right now that we'll most likely make money on this, even though it was minus, I think, 99% before. We put $12,000 worth of a trade, and I think it was minus like 11,000 or something. I don't know. Sorry, minus maybe 10,000, something like that. Bitcoin was also minus a significant sum. But right now, all have recovered again. With Bitcoin, we only put $6,000 in, acting as $100,000. It's up $11,000. XRP, we put $36,000 in, acting as $366,000. It is up $8,000. Where again, this was down $100,000 before. So I'm pretty happy to see it. And I should actually also let me see if I can get something pretty interesting going here. Let's see. Maybe I can get this done. This could be an interesting endeavor. If I can do it right now. Let's see. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Just give it a sec. Let's see. Let's try to get this done. All right. There we go. I think this should be fine. If you're wondering, just give it a second. You'll see what I'm doing. Just needed a little code, but I think it should be okay. All right, I think we're in. So, what I've got in front of me is different trades that I actually have kind of forgotten about. But, it's not showing anything. All markets, here we go. So there's only, where's the other one? One position I don't want people to see. Can I hide? I don't think you can hide positions, huh? So it's going to be a annoying endeavor. Anyway, I can also just not show you the pair. So then you can not see what happened there. Anyway, I'll just show you the rest. It's all fine. So what we've got going on here, this is pretty interesting, is my Bybit account. Oh, my camera is stuck. Let's quickly refresh that. So it's actually also quite cool that the trades we had over here, so Solana, but this is all small. I don't know why also actually, but they're all doing pretty good. So this is up 150%. Then we have Bitcoin that's up 650%. Then we have Pepe that's still down 200%. We have ADA that is, let's see here real quick, up 200%. Then we have Dogecoin that is up 660% or so. Then we have WIF that is down 800%, which is actually really interesting. Then we have XRP, as you can see right there, that is up 2,700%. We put $1,000 in, and I already cashed out $20,000, and it's still almost $40,000 up. So we turned. Oh, you can't see perfectly. Let's see here real quick. There you go. Perfect. So we put $1,300 in, acting as about 13,000, and we actually turn it into roughly 56,000 schmeckles. It's kind of funny how $1,000. This is why I tell people leverage is sometimes not that bad a thing, right? $1,000 into 56 or so thousand, so a 60x, something like that. Pretty cool, right? If you think about it. So again, is leverage always good? No, it's definitely not. But sometimes, if you are seeing the right opportunity, it can definitely do you really, really well. And that is a point I've been making multiple times in the past. It just depends. I mean, again, right now I have an Ethereum long open as well. That's minus 140%. That's not doing too good. And I have another short open that's also doing pretty well. Interesting situation though. Let's see. We've got about okay. We've got about 250 people watching, more than I would have expected actually from a stream today. I didn't expect so many people to stop by and say hi. Let's see real quick what the boys are saying. And everybody, I'll remind y'all, if you're in the stream right now, make sure you press that like button. You've got nothing to lose. All right, so Dusty, realistic price fix for 2025. Remind me of that. I'll get to it in a second. XRP trade, 368%. Amazing. That's good to hear. You're in Singapore. All right. I just buy the dips and hold. I live within my means, and me using XRP as my retirement program. I think a lot of people are doing that. It does make sense to do, in my opinion. Not finished advice. XRP, Solana, ETH, I'm holding these. We'll see massive gains this year, probably, right? That's what all of us are expecting. Dusty, $10 in XRP in 2025, is it realistic? I'd say it's pretty realistic. It's not that high a number. I honestly think is $10, it's about a 4x from where we're at right now. It could literally happen in a few weeks. It could be that quick, right? Especially if Bitcoin sets through, goes towards that $150,000 mark. It does make sense for it to happen. And again, it might take time, but we're not impatient, right? Let's see. Bobby says, retirement where I live is currently $4.8 million in the bank. So get to that then, all right? It's not unrealistic. 5 million ain't that much, all right? It's not that crazy of a number. M2 says, what say all of SoloGenic? I don't care about SoloGenic at all. Like, real talk, I don't care about them. If you can make money on it, fine. It sometimes goes pretty crazy in terms of a pump after XRP has done a pump or Flare has done a pump. But I would never buy SoloGenic for the sake of buying SoloGenic. But that's also because I don't necessarily believe in it. It could do well, but I don't believe in it. You know what I mean? Let's see. Bobby Flash has lots of hype on 𝗵𝗵𝗃. I'm not a meme coin guy, but if I was, it'd be on 𝗵𝗵𝗃. You know, I think 𝗵𝗵𝗃 is one of those coins that always does well in a bull market. And I said before, if I had to pick a coin that's going to overtake Doge, there's a good chance it would be 𝗵𝗵𝗃. Just letting you know that that's one of the coins I have a significant amount of money into because it does make sense for it to do well. I'm not guaranteeing you that. I'm just saying, like, out of the list, it's not a bad one, man. I don't think so. I don't think it's a bad one. Going for Hugh Hefner look today, huh? Yeah, I guess so, right? Somebody says, thanks, bro. My net worth, basically, has been starting to grow after following you. That's pretty cool. At the end of the day, it's all your own choices still, but, you know, I'm still happy to hear it for you, though. The road to $1 million shows the charts. So are you talking about $1 million per Bitcoin or of your values? If we're talking about $1 million of Bitcoin, the path is pretty clear. I mean, we all know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. You know, the path towards it is really clear. I don't think it's going to happen this season, but I think the next season it will happen. And again, it's just a matter of waiting it out. But we'll get there, is the way I personally see it. So all we got to do is just wait for it to slowly but surely creep up, maybe hit, $250,000, come back down, crumbling back to whatever, $100,000 or so, and then over the next years or 3 years, it'll most likely see $1 million. I still stand by the fact that I believe that right now today. That is what I think is going to happen. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, obviously, but I'm quite sure that that's going to be the path. So, any of you, have you bought anything crazy recently? You've been buying anything, any new coin, anything wild, anything you think is worthy of a discussion? I see Aerodrome just now. What else? What else did you guys buy recently? Let's see if I have an opinion on it. Because Aerodrome, I've not bought. I don't think I have a single coin unless it was given to me for free. But that's also the thing. There's a lot of these. Oh, I'm stuck again. I'll change it. And by the way, I notice now it's not the camera. It's actually my recording software that gets stuck. But I don't know why exactly. But to get back to it, there's many coins that I think have potential, but I just don't talk about, just don't buy, just don't indulge in. Mostly because, again, it's always a comparison game, right? For example, now a coin that you guys mentioned, Chainlink. I have a ton of Chainlink. There's a good risk reward there. But again, that is basically the idea that Chainlink is not going to be your top performer in a bull run, but it's quite safe to protect yourself from downside. I think Chainlink is one of those coins which you can also easily open a bot for. Same for SUI. It's again, but SUI actually has the potential to be one of the best performers in the top altcoin season or in the top market cap coins. Whereas Chainlink, I don't think it will, right? My own personal thoughts. But Chainlink is one of those coins that doesn't go down that much in the bear in comparison to others. HBAR similarly. I mean, most of the people that were early investors in HBAR, they've gotten less excited about the project, I must admit to you. But I still think HBAR is an easy, like 7 or so X in a bull run, I personally think. Content Clipper says, hey man, are you a content clipper? We need clippers. But regardless, my ETH long at 2642 is drowning. Brother, what? You open an ETH long at 2642? Brother, you blasted the top harder than a freaking volcano eruption. What? Ismail says, Chainlink, I opened bot and it make 250 in 2 days, bro. Oh, amazing. But, oh man, this camera keeps getting stuck. But, of course, be careful because you're right? If your leverage is too high or your range is too small, you got to be a bit careful with making that much money in a short amount of time. What's a cocaine eruption? I don't know, brother. I don't know. Stellar Lumens, yeah, I hold a ton of that. That's cool. Sui, yeah. I bought 0. Whatever BTC, amazing. GST. GST. Dog on Bitcoin. That's also a meme coin, right? I still have it like in my Bitcoin wallet, in a few wallets actually, but I've never touched it. It's probably down like 95%, right? Swift coin? Is that a thing? I know there was a Swift coin like 10 years ago. I don't know if there still is an official one. As in, is it just a small meme coin, or is it a bigger one, or is it a new project that just adapted the name? Eric says, I'm hoping for $8 in XRP soon. $8 is not that much, man. I mean, realistically, $8 can happen in a freaking snap. You're in finance, always interesting, always interesting. AVA, all those in the same bracket. Almost always good in bull markets. Just scrolling through to see if there's anything new that happened in the meantime that might need covering. I mean, politics-wise, there's obviously a lot happening still. And this is my story from last night, if you guys remember, where I basically said, if you are a person that got into crypto recently, there's one very important thing to watch out for. And it's basically, right now that things are on the up and up, you know, it all looks quite easy because it is. And actually, most of the bull market, if you zoom out, is just up and up and up for like 3 years in a row. But only a small portion of it is the real altcoin season. And even if that were to happen right now, for example, there is the probability, there's a chance that we actually go down significantly just before that major spike, or that Bitcoin shows some weakness just before that major spike, and that's when you give up. Many people will do it. Many people will give up just before we see the best of times. And that's why I'm warning a lot of people to pay close attention to the market from the perspective that they're not buying when things are too good, but more importantly, not selling when things are slightly bad. Buying when things are doing good, you become more of a momentum investor in the sense that you're buying something that goes up a ton and you expect it to go up more. Why I'm saying you don't really sell when things are bad is because the trend, if we're looking at this, is still upwards. It's not downwards. So basically, we're only looking for buying here and potentially selling higher. We're not really in the process of selling lower, right? You do that in the bear market or something along those lines. Bobby says, I'm that sucker who always sells mid-top. Selling mid-top is perfect, right? That's exactly what you want to do. You don't have to sell the perfect top. You just should not sell the frickin' bottom. And I'm telling you right now that 85% of the people at least sell the frickin' bottom because they get afraid. If I talk to a taxi driver, and we're talking about coins, which I don't like to do, but hey, sometimes it comes up. If you're talking to people around, they always say, yeah, but I lost a lot of money with it. I'm like, wow, how? Because theoretically speaking, the crypto market's gone up so much that if you had a properly balanced portfolio, it has been almost impossible to lose money on it over a longer period of time. Now, again, if we take a 2-month span, if we take meme coins, yes, you could have lost a lot. But think about it. If you've been into crypto for 2 years right now, and you lost money on it, what have you done? What have you done to lose money in an almost always up market? Like, how do you even do that? I don't even, like, real talk, I don't even know. It's only if you buy fully into meme coins. But even then, if your meme coin allocation is such a high percentage and you're not holding any Solana, any Bitcoin, anything like that, then I don't know, man. Your risk management's been a bit crazy. Because you can say, yeah, but XRP was down for many years. Just sure. But recently, since November to now, it did a 7x or so in a short amount of time. So whatever loss you took on your money before that, you should have probably, at least in my opinion, made it all back and more. Thoughts on XLM? I made a video on XLM 2 days ago or so with my exact prediction and my expectation. And I opened an XLM bot as well quite recently here. Let me show you real quick. So here we go. So, of course, we have ourselves the $10,000 to $1 million challenge. Cool. I could have actually reinvested just now to get to the perfect number. But you can see the grid profits will still keep cashing out because the price keeps going up and down and up and down. And that way, it's just buying, and selling. But let's quickly see. So, ETH is doing amazing. This is doing good. XLM here. So, I put $5,000 into the bot 3 days ago. It's up $420. It cashed out about 1%, confirmed basically. And right now the position is in about plus $373. Mostly I care about the grid profits over a longer term. Short term, if you're thinking of cashing out and making a quick buck, you could just sell all that and realize it too. But then again, at that point you're speculating because you do not know where things are going to go tomorrow. Like for example, this Bitcoin here, where you have a $250,000 position. $50,000 we put in, it's up 12,000, right? I care more about whatever it's cashing out in just the 7 days, because this basically, the 50K, maybe $600 in 7 days. I kind of care more about that than the unrealized, because this can go up and down, up and down, up and down, whereas this is like cashed out, almost quote unquote guaranteed. Just like how that $50,000 into XRP being a $250,000 position made me $2,500 in like quote unquote guaranteed. And it's still at $31,000 unconfirmed, unrealized, which I couldn't right now. I could just quickly edit the price range. I could send it up by 1 cent, for example, press next step, and I could reinvest to make this an $83,000 position. But you can see that it would take my liquidation price up significantly too, because it just reinvests the money at the price of $2.60 versus $2.11, right? Whereas if I don't do anything, it's basically just like keeping a long open, but on the opposite side, it is also buying and selling, basically cashing me out in the meantime. Because again, we expect the price to continue up, so we do not necessarily want to cash this out, unless, again, you're basically thinking the market's going to turn back around. And again, if that's a short-term thing, then the bot will just figure itself out. If it's a longer-term thing, though, yeah, it would have been better to cash out. But you do not know that up front, so to just make, almost my profits guaranteed, basically, this is what I do. What app is that? This is all on Payonix. It's like the exchange I've been using for a while. I always leave some links in the description. And there's been multiple videos I've been making about it recently, because it's like automated, everything. You can copy my bots exactly. You can copy every single part that I'm doing. So I keep saying it's actually pretty freaking nice. I will leave a link in the chat box for all you to follow if you wanted to. And you can use it from any country in the world. It might ask you which country you're from, but so this is always interesting to me, right? Again, people say, oh, I can't use it. I don't know why you could not. Like, I literally did not verify my ID. I did not tell them which country I'm from. I just told them freaking, I don't know, Belgium or something. I forgot which country I put. So even people in the US can use it. In Netherlands, you can use it. It's confirmed. I know for a fact you can. The only thing is you cannot verify your ID, perhaps. But who cares about that? The maximum you can draw, I don't even know what it is. But I have it on so many exchanges. It might be 20,000 a day, for example, something like that. It's fine, right? Just take like a few days to cash out. It's fine. Hamadi says, I tried copy, but it asks for $700, and I only want to do it with $500. So the difficulty with that, cool, so I'll explain two things. So first, this one. If you want to copy, but you have less than the copy amount, you got to make your own bot and do it yourself. Why? Because the amount of grids I have decide the minimum investment as well, right? Because it should be a minimum investment size, basically, based on the amount of buys you're putting and the minimum buy size in that sense. Now, I can't really change that too much. There's not really that much I can do about that. Mostly, wait a minute. So give me 1 second, and I'll get back to you. All right. So to continue on, I don't know exactly what discussion I was having just now. All right, so I think there was two questions. One is about the country. So that is, again, the answer is just maybe contact support, because it's not completely true, right? You can use it from a different country. I had one account of mine that had an issue with my KYC. It says provide KYC 2. I just texted support saying, hey, what is going on? They reset the account, KYC or something like that, and it was just fine. I just put freaking Belgium or whatever country is fine, maybe Australia or something like that. But you don't have to verify ID. I can confirm you that. You don't need to. Second thing, you signed up with code DustyBC. That's cool. Why? Because you get some free bonuses that you otherwise do not get. So this is nice. 3 is, isn't it risky? Probably I can. Oh, and the other one was the minimum amount. So I'll talk about those. Is it risky? I have explained all the risks. And at the end of the day, if you're using leverage, there's always certain risks. Risk number 1 is you're leveraging whatever position you've got, right? So if I right here, this is not just $50,000, it's the $250,000 trade. I only have to put up $50,000 for it. Now, this liquidation price is the thing to watch out for. I have more money in this account, or I'll deposit more in case the price starts going against me so much, because the idea is I can keep this bot open for months or years, and it will keep cashing out profits. And I know that over a few year period, the price of XRP will be up the same or slightly down or slightly up or very, very far up. There's no chance, in my opinion, that XRP is going to go to zero. So all I got to do is just add potentially more margin. Let's just say here, for example, I have to add it. So this price is low enough where, I see like a little fly, where I do not get wrecked in the short term. Because again, it's a $250,000 position, but the maximum I could lose is $50,000. But all I have to do is not get wrecked in the meantime, and it will just keep cashing in, cashing in, cashing in. The price does not have to go up. It can even just go down and slightly up, down and slightly up. As long as it keeps doing that, it keeps being volatile, the bot makes money. Now, in a similar way, this trade right here, so this is right here, the one I have here, is $350,000, $360 actually, worth of an XRP long. This will not make me money if the price goes down and back up. It'll only make me money if it goes up and up and up. So that is why it's less risky than a long, but it will also make you slightly less profit because it also sells, as you can see from the overview on the right. Then another one is, why is there a minimum? It's actually just the way they designed their system. Every trade should be a minimum in terms of in terms of percentages and things. So the more grids you've got, also the higher the minimum investment will be. You can just make your own bots and do a very low amount. But for the ones I have, I don't set the limit. I don't set the minimum. It's the algorithm doing that, or the platform doing that. So if you don't have enough, you got to make your own probably. All right. Let's see. Is there any other good trading bots rather than Pionex? So for me personally, and I've tried so many websites, it's actually one of the best ones. There's probably other good ones out there, but I've not seen it. If it's another big exchange, no, they're not good enough. OKX, BitGet, Bybit, they all have bots, but they're all kind of crap. Blowfin is trying to make some new ones, but they're still crap as it currently stands. If you find a new one, you can let me know, but there's none, I think. Unless it's a really, really small, obscure exchange, but for big ones, no. Most cryptos have done nothing except for memes. Okay, I don't know what if we're watching the same thing, but many cryptos have been doing some crazy things right now. But yeah, it's also a little bit less fun than watching the price of this go. Like, to be honest with you, trading this way by watching the price move up and down by incredible amounts is actually significantly more fun, but risk-wise, oh, my mouse is almost empty. Interesting. But, risk-wise, this is just way easier, way better, 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓. The only thing I still regret is, remember, I was talking about opening a full ETH position, just like Bitcoin and XRP, with just 50K like the rest of them. And I didn't because I wanted to do it in a stream, and I didn't have enough in my account, or something like that. And we blast the top at plus 20%. But if we did, that would have been a nicer trade, right? Because it would have been up 70% on our 50K, which could have been nicer than right now. It's up $1,000 on 1,500, so it's not so interesting. WeX, I use WeX all the time. There's always a link down below, but it's different. It's just no KYC. You can use it in America anywhere. It's easy. The bots, though, are not amazing. I'm not sure if they even have bots, but Pionex is the best for bots right now, for sure. For sure. I'm quite certain about this. Anyway, I got to quickly piss. Give me like 30 seconds. It's right. It's the door right here, right? So it's like it's an arm reach. I can literally touch the inside of the door right now, so do not worry. 30 seconds, I'll be back. I'll leave the camera on. I'm crazy like that. You know, you want to hit? Nah, I don't. Oh, wait a minute. Nah, I got swimming pants. Don't worry, buddy. All right, we good. la la, ooh la la, ooh la la. There we go, boys. Trump spoke on crypto again. Wait, what? Is he speaking now? No, right? It's way too early in the day. Let's see. That was yesterday, right? In the... I'm guessing you mean the Saudi forum where he spoke, maybe? Or did he say something elsewhere? I don't know. Juan says, Dusty, are you swimming today? I actually went for a snorkeling session today. So we drove with the boat a little bit out, had some snorkeling. But I didn't see many fish because it's kind of boring here. So, yeah. Am I going swimming today? I already went swimming for like an hour or two. So, if XCB skyrocketed, are you jumping in a body of water? I mean, I could go to the ocean. It's like a 7-second walk. Okay, maybe 20-second walk. Or the pool in the background, or the pool in front. But there's 3 pools in the resort. Could. Alchemist says leg shot. Brother, what? Nvidia's up 15% over just the last 5 days. Nice. I still don't know what Trump said about crypto, or what he was talking about it. Somebody just said in the chat that somebody was eaten by a shark recently. Why would you tell me that, brother? What does that have to do with anything, man? Wait, what? All right. Well, that's good to know, I guess. Thank you for your input, sir. I appreciate the kind words, I guess. All right. Sometimes it's nice to just keep your secrets, you know? You don't got to discuss everything with everybody. You know what I mean? Like, you know. All right. Interestingly. Price-wise, yeah, things are moving nicely. It's kind of interesting how Bitcoin is slowing down significantly, and ETH is going on the massive run. And I still think right now that ETH has a very, very good chance to just keep blasting. But I thought that $2,500 was already just very, very high for ETH, right? But as it currently stands, I don't know. I feel as if the market's blasting so much that it will keep continuing on. But look at XRP also. The momentum is kind of fading. Somebody was complaining about the volume not being existent. I'd say it's there. And also, if you take a look, retail is slowly but surely coming back. You can see that in Google Trends, but for example, how many people type in the wrong version of Ethereum, or just in almost any other scale, like make money quickly with crypto, all these type of things, they're starting to skyrocket. Somebody says, how do you find my bots on Payonics? Just check the link in the description, man. I've explained everything in my tutorial about how to follow the bots. Just, you know, if you don't know, please take your time to figure it out. Don't dive in head first. Well, I guess dive in head first, but, you know, do it sensibly so. Maybe watch a tutorial that I've made. Maybe, you know, watch a couple of videos that I've made the last few days. It is easier that way than just going all in. ETH to $10,000. I mean, this season ETH at $10,000 is not too crazy. But soon, I don't know, I feel like as if it's too much money, right? And if we're going to see a $10,000 ETH, we'll probably also see a Bitcoin above what? $250,000, something along those lines. It doesn't seem likely for it to not be 1-to-1. It could happen, but it does not seem that likely for it to be that way. Anyway, as it stands, Bitcoin is slowly but surely climbing back up. Wait a minute. Going back to about 104,000, even though it's been quite a slow morning for Bitcoin at least. Went back to 102.9 and slowly but surely creeping right back up. Already 1% up or so in the last few hours. And this also proves you can actually just retire off of just freaking only buying Bitcoin relatively, you know, small but relative dips. It's actually quite interesting. You can make a lot of money just buying Bitcoin dips. Last night, went to what? Is it 12 hours? This is the night before. So last night, Last night it topped out at $105,000. Right now back to 103-ish. Again, I'm not saying you should have. I'm just saying it's kind of interesting how you can think about just buying only Bitcoin and you're still fine. For XRP, kind of, if you think about it, the same kind of applies, though, for XRP. If you just are consistently buying the XP dip, which is, again, why the bots sometimes are nice, but you can make so much freaking money. Because if you look at the chart, right, if you just always buy the freaking dip, and I'm not talking about a dip of like 0.1% or something. I'm talking about a deeper dip, maybe $2. In this case, you're $1.90, but let's just say $2. We've already said this 1,000 times. If you consistently bought $2, you would have made so much freaking money. But even if you do it at a higher price, even if you consistently bought $2.25, yes, it might have been underwater for a while. You might have hated yourself for a bit. But if you then doubled down at $2 and then tripled down at $1.80 and then quadrupled down at $1.60, you would be up billions of dollars. But that's, again, if you were to buy every 20 cents. If you just bought only at $2.20, obviously you'd still make a ton of money. But just depending on whether or not you invalidated it the moment it went below $2 or something like that, which could have happened. Probably a lot of people did that. But if you were holding through, it would always be fine. And that's the thing. With any of these cryptos I talk about on the channel, you will always, in my opinion, be fine. All it takes is patience. William says, how is ETH ever really going to moon with gas fees so high? I don't get it. Well, ETH mooned before, right? Many times. So the question is perhaps, what is the question really? Just because gas fees are high, it can't moon? But theoretically speaking, gas fees go high because it moons, no? Because all of a sudden it moons, everybody wants to start using it, and then the gas fees go higher. But they're doing many upgrades for it. It's fine. Who cares? Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I paid tens of thousands of dollars in fees, but ultimately, who cares, right? It's only if you want to do very mundane tasks like that are really cheap normally and nowadays on other change. But then again, there are layer 2s for that. Like Base will probably never have a token. It's fine. It's on Ethereum. Theoretically speaking, the more popular the Base gets, the more popular Ethereum also gets, right? So if you're asking if it's scalable, there are many different answers to that question. If you're asking, can the price go up, even though it has these scalability issues, I'd say yes, it can. Dusty, is 10K XRP make you well off? Is 10,000 XRP, so about $26,000, make you well off? I think what you mean is if $26,000 is a lot to do really, really well. I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of people would do some crazy things for $26,000 at this value. So then if the XRP were to do like a 4X, you're at $100,000. I mean, does it make you well off? I guess it depends on where you are and who you are, right? To a lot of people, that's crazy sums they just only dream of having. And to some people, it's nothing. So it's difficult to answer that question. Also, we talking about 1 month? We talking about a year? We talking about 10 years? What are you doing after that? You're just going to cash out and be done? Or, because theoretically speaking, well off could also be you actually have, let's say, $100 right now. If you get to 100,000, all of a sudden now you're quite well off because you've got all the opportunities ahead of you to use your 100,000 to start new ventures and invest, right? So to that extent, yeah, right? But if you can retire off 100K, probably not, right? Tezos, do you hold any? No, maybe maybe a little bit. But I've not actively bought the Tezos dip or anything like that. It's not really been a hype cryptocurrency at all. Could it do well? Sure, but that's, again, just like random. Brian says, is XP going to go up today, bro? Let's see, brother. Does it matter, really? It doesn't really, right? At the end of the day, does it matter if it goes up or down? Not really. As long as you set yourself up for a longer-term strategy, it doesn't matter what it's going to do today. We care what it's going to do over a few week or few month times, but not really what prices get hit. Not really when. Somebody says, is 250,000 XRP enough for the average person? Man, 250,000 XRP is too much for the average person. What are we talking about? Of course that's enough for most people. Yeah, that's a lot. Brian says, I made 20 accounts with the bots, and I've got profit on every one of them. Very nice, Brian. Very nice. Happy for you. But of course, you know, there's also downsides to the bots, right? You guys know that. The biggest downside being you got to watch your liquidation price. So you got to be ready to add more margin in case things go bad. And now that things are good, they're good, right? But if things go bad, even though they will fix themselves over time, you got to watch out so that you don't get liquidated, right? I'll keep reminding people that I don't mind being hundreds of thousands of dollars in the minus because I know it's for a bit of time. But that's also why I open maybe $1 million worth of positions just like in a snap because I don't really care. It's fine. It will figure itself out over time. Brian says use the free ones with the bonus. Oh, okay, so you're good then. Coin still not pumping sideways. Trash! All right. Jay Heilig says, that's why we set limit orders. Pussy. I'm joking. All right. Limit orders, huh? All right. Also, this is another funny thing. I've talked about the rich list a lot, but in reality, a rich list, which is a list that tracks how many accounts have how many coins, is not really useful. Just because I can have 10 billion, as an example, I don't have that obviously. I could have 10 billion XRP, but if I've got it locked up in 100 or 1,000 different accounts, let's say 1,000 different accounts, it's 10 million in each account, right? But I have 1,000 of them. You think, oh, there's 1,000 people that hold 10 million XRP. In reality, it's just one guy with a lot of wallets. The opposite way, Binance has one big wallet with a ton of money inside. And you think, oh, that's one person or one account that has so much, but it might be 100,000, it might be 100 million accounts that all have a little bit of XRP. So it's quite difficult to do something with that data. Quan says, do you think the 19th will affect the XRP price much? What's happening the 19th, boys? Did I miss something? Could be. I'm not so on top of the dates anymore nowadays. What's going on the 19th? What's happening on the 19th? Are we talking the 19th of May, 19th of a different month? What's going on? Somebody said 19th, but I don't know what's happening. Too Big Paul says, this is from Payonix right now. Kindly note that without complete, yeah, you got to do KYC 1, but that's just putting a country and a name in. Just put a country and a name in, brother. If that's KYC 2, then send me a message on Twitter. I'll figure it out because I've never heard that before. So, Too Big Paws, you need to do KYC. It's KYC 1. Put a name and a country, and I put freaking the muscle man as a name, and you put a country, freaking Belgium. I don't know. They don't care. It's fine. Will XRP Las Vegas pump the coin? No. Why would it pump the coin? Matter of fact, usually events are not that amazing for coins, man. Like around the event sometimes, but I wouldn't correlate events to price unless something gets revealed at that place, which I don't know. But when is XRP Las Vegas going to be? They didn't invite me, so I don't know. And I would never buy a ticket to an event like that. Never in my life. I prefer to eat my own hands than pay for an event like that. Never. I'd rather cut my own hands off than do that. All right, let's see. How do I find your buds, brother? I've already explained it to you now, so please. I've already explained to you exactly how to do it. If you can't find it, man, this is like, I'm not trying to be rude, but if you can't find it, dog, even though I just explained to you exactly how to find it, then please don't use them, all right? Please don't do that then. Menno says, it says your account is 0. Maybe you have to transfer. I'm not sure if Pionex even has a transfer feature, but it might be in the, like, for example, in the earn, and you have to transfer to the bot part, something like that, maybe. Could be. Any price picks for XLM? I just made a video on XLM like a day or two ago, brother. What price are you going to sell next for profit? Well, again, I don't ever really sell too much. Let's say it's exorbitant. Like, let's go back. Here, for example, with the XP bot, I was just kind of like looking at it thinking, you know what? Where's the XP one? Here, for example, with this specific one, it's like we were up so much that I decided to already cash out $20,000, but that's because it was from $1,000 to like what, 50 at that point. Right now it's 55 in total. We only put $1,000 in, so it's like, whoa. You know, at a 30x, I was like, okay, we got to cash a good chunk out. But in general, yeah, you don't care. I don't really care about cashing. So here we go. From Pionex now, Pionex requires at least level KYC. This is what I just told you, man. I've explained all, sorry, again, I don't want to be rude to y'all. I've explained all this in the tutorials. KYC 1 is nothing. It's just a name and a country. Pick your own freaking country. Whatever one you want, pick a name. It's fine. It's about KYC 2. That's with ID and stuff, which I've also not done. So again, just to confirm, there's a lot of people who are commenting that, like, oh, you have to do KYC. I told you already, if it asks you for a country and a name, just put a country and a name. Whatever you want to do, just put freaking, if Belgium is fine, put Belgium. I don't even remember which country I put because it's just click, 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 click. It doesn't matter. It's fine. You want to put your own name, put your own name. You want to put US, fine, but you're not going to be able to trade, right? If you want to put freaking another country that's blocked, don't do that. Again, I'm not suggesting Belgium. I'm just saying, hey, maybe Belgium works. I don't know which countries work. If it doesn't work, you just try again. So you're another account, no need for KYC. I've not KYC'd on almost any exchange. Bybit I've KYC'd on because you have to, but most other exchanges I don't. If you don't have to, I will never do it. Unless you want to withdraw a lot of money fast, then yeah. But, mostly the maximums are fine. But even then, if that's an issue, you'll figure it out, all right? And this is always my opinion. If you can't figure it out, all these things, then sometimes it ain't for you, all right? For example, I shouldn't explain some of these things. There's some things I can't explain to you, which just make me not really that, it's all not that big a deal. Roundtable, you asked the question, and I explained to you just now how to find it. I said it's in the description. So, and also, if you're able to find the link, you can find the bots. They're all in the same spot. Are you streaming in your bathrobe? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, we're doing that today. And we're waiting for Bitcoin. I'm going to say that today is not that crazy of a day, though. Because theoretically speaking, Sunday is going to be the most interesting mark where potentially Bitcoin has that close. But for right now, we're just mostly looking at Ethereum. Actually, the whole night I was just watching Ethereum go. And I still think it's at this point that Ethereum will most likely set through. But from a risk-reward perspective, I'm not sure if it's in the best of spots. But, I mean, the price has fallen significantly, though, on the short term. It's already 6% down. If you were thinking of blasting Ethereum, at least you're getting yourself like a 5-6% discount over where it was at a few hours ago, like half a day ago. So if you're thinking of blasting the top, this is clearly a better spot than doing it at 2750. And, I mean, ultimately, 2600 Ethereum is still quite cheap. Most of the Ethereum longs from all my friends are still down significantly. The only counter I'll give is that, I mean, it was just like $1,300, $1,400 like last week. So that is the only counter I'll give, that you're buying very, very high. But over a longer term, it's not that high for ETH. Over a short term, it's pretty awful. Whereas BitBoy, I've not spoken to him in like a few, like 2 months or something. I don't know. Maybe 3 months even. All right. But in terms of news, what is the 19th? Somebody says 19th, but I don't know if there's anything happening here. Man, what is this? Why is everybody posting this? What is this? Maybe it's Why is my Twitter feed screwed, guys? Oh, one of the most interesting parts actually yesterday was this. Coinbase plans to launch Coinbase ADA, Coinbase Doge, Coinbase Litecoin, and Coinbase XRP wrap tokens on Base. Not that big a deal, but it's cool, you know, the fact that you're able to trade those then on Base. The crypto exchange announced these assets are coming soon, but not yet available, with an official launch date to be announced later. Now, you could argue that this is good for XRP, but it's debatable because it's not on the XP ledger, right? It's just people can trade and speculate on the price of the asset, but depending on what type of algorithm they use, if they don't have to back it up, it doesn't matter. If they have to, then it's still big because it means that they, Coinbase, will also have to hold all that XRP. 1-to-1. So yeah, just depends on that. Anyway, lads, I think it's been about an hour. I think it's good for now. If something crazy happens, I will definitely update y'all. But I'm noticing, hey, we could just basically do nothing here. Just a quick little update on the market. We're just taking a little look. But I could talk about many altcoins and look at them, but really, there's not that much that I'm changing. I just have the bots in. We're just waiting for another massive move to be made. I was kind of hoping that once we were streaming here that something crazy would happen. But for the most part, Ethereum is the only interesting opportunity as it currently stands. Almost nothing else is really popping at the moment, like at this second. So yeah, that's just my my little update for right now. If something happens, I will definitely update y'all. I still have a video probably coming on Solana maybe, and maybe Pepe or something like that. If you guys have any coins you'd like to see a video on, just let me know in the description. I read every single one of them. So that could be pretty cool. And yeah, if something happens, I'll catch you guys for it. And that's about it for right now. Peace out, everybody. I'm going to go back to swimming, I think. That's going to be nice.